react to. This, and Mahama decides that I am scrapping fuel levy, not fuel levy, the petrol for the people.
For allowance.
For allowance. I am not going to let the people use petrol. That one to MPP, you can't be shouting.
Why? What they are calling for is clearer accountability.
Stop. Look, I'm saying that give yourself time. You have to heal yourself as a party.
Yeah,
the thing they are doing at the stadium is what they should focus on.
In the quest to see the nation succeed, it's important that an opposition, regardless of its strength or might, is seen to be still a very viable force in calling for prudence, you know, because, of course, like I said, it's now a free-for-all. The Ghanaians, through their term, have given you a very huge mandate. But there should be some checks and balances, Jude, right?
Every evening, I host a radio program for 90 minutes, and I receive messages from people. Some of them are political, I know, but there are some who are genuine. A lot of the times when I'm interviewing MPP people and they are giving some brilliant ideas, the questions that keep coming through is that, when did this guy have this sense? When did these guys think that this is possible? Yeah. These are things that you could have done, you have not done. Yeah. In 8 years. Yeah. Someone is doing it and all of a sudden you are there screaming.
But the realities of managing a country when you're in government is very different from when you're in opposition.
Jude.
The considerations a government would have to make in power is way different.
I am not saying that they should not hold the government accountable, but I'm saying that they should decide what to hold the government accountable for. There's something called goodwill. You can't do anything about it. When the people give it to you, right now, Mahama is enjoying goodwill. Today, if Mahama can stand at Independence Square and say, everybody sleep at 4 p.m., it's almost like it's like the cool days. People are going to sleep.
You know when I sensed that the goodwill had peaked? So when the Ablekuma North rerun happened and the violence occurred there, you know, in the aftermath of it, everybody's pointing accusing fingers to the police. For some reason, it's no longer Mahama. You know,
yesterday,
and I'm like,
2 days ago, I saw Eslausu Ekufo. She used to be a powerful. She's in retirement. Sorry, she's home. She lost Ablekuma West. Good morning, mommy. I saw her write on Facebook that where is WILDAF? Where is all these women organizations when Hawa Kumsi was attacked? I saw women groups attack her back and say that for 8 years, where were these people? So, the goodwill thing. Akufo-Addo had it in 2017. You could even say that Akufo-Addo had more goodwill in 2017 than Mahama is having now. Mahama had been branded as this corrupt monster. His government was useless. He was incompetent, he was corrupt and everything. That was how he was branded. He was a younger man than Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Mahama was way younger. Akufo-Addo was
early 50s. In his first term.
Akufo-Addo was 72 years old.
In his first term.
Ghanaians defeated Mahama by 1 million votes. It has never happened before. And his parliamentary majority was knocked down. It was almost like nobody ever thought that Mahama was ever going to be even... In fact, the defeat that Mahama suffered, it was almost like Ghanaians have said, we have dealt with the opposition for you. Akufo-Addo Tuaso. Instead of Mahama Tuaso, Akufo-Addo Tiaso, actually.
Yeah.
What did Akufo-Addo do? He appointed 110 ministers.
At the point, 121.
Like the Chelsea tea, you know Chelsea tea. There's this tea bag. It's not Chelsea. It's a red, yes. 110 tea bags, that's what it takes. So people were actually comparing the Chelsea tea box with Akufo-Addo. People didn't complain. People said, he said that he needed 110 people to
he even justified and said that he was in a hurry.
He said, I was a man in a hurry, and that he needed so many to fix the country. People say, yeah, continue. He went to read a speech at his inauguration. He found out to be plagiarized speech. People say,
that should have got somebody at the Jubilee House fired.
Nobody cared. The people say, yeah, speech there is nothing. He has read speech and today, Mahama, go and sleep.
It's a citizen, it's not subjective.
He appointed senior minister, which is something that had not happened for the past, 16 years maybe. Okay, Kufuor had senior minister. So the whole of 8 years of NDC, there was no senior. He came, appointed senior minister. People say, yeah, no problem.
Ambassador at large.
He appointed everything, so.
Plenipotentiary.
Look, people still said, go ahead and do your work. Because there was goodwill. And when you have the goodwill, but when the goodwill starts waning, and I know the NDC would know this, because they have gone through this before, and I have said that And Gabi Asare describes Mahama as one of the luckiest. And it is true. The man has gone through the rank, and he has been president, and he lost and went into the wilderness for 8 years, and he's back. If such a person is not experienced, then who else can be experienced? I have said that we as Ghanaians, whether MPP or NDC, we need to pray for John Mahama to succeed. If John Mahama fails, the whole democracy thing that we are doing is going to be questioned. At 2028, when people are there and they're like, we tried Mahama and Kosiaga, we went to bring Akufo-Addo, we were told that he's the best thing to have happened to us. 8 years, Otto, he has been thrown away, and one of his very, he was colleagues in Kufuor's government who served as his minister for chieftaincy, Asabi. Stephen Asamoah-Barton, former MP from Fansiman, I think, is quoted as saying that Akufo-Addo is looking for an opportunity to apologize to Ghanaians. It tells you how hopeless things have gotten. He says that Kufuor was more accessible and all of those things. And I've seen that report, very, very damning, published by my journal online. If Akufo-Addo has failed, and Ghanaians say, let's go back to Miyire that day, and we go back for Mahama, and we do Sankofa. And if after 4 years, Mahama fails us, if you read Animal Farm by George Orwell, the last lines of that book, the animals, which are the commoners, had come to peep through the window, and they saw humans who are their enemies sitting at the table with pigs who are their leaders. And they were drinking beer, playing cards, the pigs were walking on 2 legs, wearing hats, and they were having a good time. And the last line in the book says, the animals from the window looked from man to pig and from pig to man. And clearly, they could not see the difference. That tells you that we're in a hopeless situation. And if in 2028 we get to the situation where Ghanaians will look from MPP to NDC and back to MPP, I'm like, no, I can't even see the difference. Then we are in a big problem.
Third force?
The third force has been useless for a period.
There are those who have said that often to appreciate the progress you've made, it's important to step back and assess what's happened in the past. So they also say that those who don't appreciate their history, are bound to repeat the mistakes of the past. I think that in criticizing how far democracy has come, I'm sure you'd also agree that we've made some significant gains. Yesterday, I was looking at a report which placed our democracy, particularly the conduct of our election, as the best in Africa, or one of the best in Africa. We toppled the likes of Seychelles, Botswana, and all of these countries that have like an emerging form of democracy where it's relatively even sometimes better. Do you get a sense that regardless of the negatives, we've still made significant progress in how far? See, just about a week ago on social media, Twitter, Nigerians were shocked, right, that we could go into an election, there's this huge defeat, the government of the day accepts it without any major, skirmish. Not long ago, they were also expressing shock about even hostels in the country. So I'm asking because I want you to just put it all together for us. Do you get the sense that despite the challenges of the past and in previous administrations, we've still made significant or some level of progress worth celebrating at the very least?
You see, I have traveled around a bit. I have gone to Europe, I've gone to the US, I've been to Asia. When I see things that I see there, I was in France last year. At the restaurant in the morning when I finished eating, a robot came to collect my plates. Like, wow, exciting, right?
Yeah.
I would want to see that in Ghana. But okay, let's not go to France, it's far. Let's come to Africa and compare. Like I told you, I was in Côte d'Ivoire. They have a double lane, a dual carriageway from Abidjan to Yamoussoukro. The distance is like from Accra to Kumasi. They have a dual carriageway. Beautiful, nice road. In the city center of Abidjan, they have a lot of water bodies. They use that water body wisely, so they have water taxes on it. In Accra, what do we do with the odor?
Throw things into
Is it too early to say we shit inside?
No.
Okay, if it's not too early in the morning, we shit inside. Our beautiful beaches, La. Me, I have my first attempt at rent. I went to La, I was going to rent. The landlady showed me nice house, beautiful terrazzo, everything. I'm like, I like it, beautiful. I think it was one single room, self-contained. I said, I'll take it. I said, I'll take it. So I said, Nima, I'll find a toilet here. I'm like, where's the toilet? He said, oh, Ben Sean, I be in which means the sea is just here.
It's close.
And I was living at Nungwa at the time, Nungwa, and I come to Accra every morning. In the morning when I'm coming, I see a drove of people crossing the road towards the beach. And in the evening when I close, I'm going back home, I see people doing the same. I didn't know, said they were going there to do number 2. I did a documentary on that. And when I went, I saw people squatting at the beach. So in Ghana, we don't have parks where you can sit down and just chill. No. Imagine Jude, single man, found a girlfriend, he wants to go and sit at a park. There's no green park that you can sit at. Imagine if we had fixed the odor where there's water flowing nicely, so that you can have benches at the side. Sit down and feed pigeons. You will not die of stress.
I thought you told us the way.
We see that when we go to London, we see people feeding pigeons or doves, as they call them.
Was just as dirty as the Odor River, yet they've been able to clean it up.
So when you talk about the democracy, and I'm trying to say this so that I bring you to the democracy thing. You remember the campaign that Kufuor waged against Rawlings, and which was waged against Kufuor, and which was waged against Mills.
Sure, now,
like road. When they say, oh, you have fixed road, is it road we eat?
No.
People would say, is it the democracy we eat? We want jobs. We want a better condition. If robots come to serve, you want to be happy.
The democracy is the precursor for everything.
Massa, if I live at Amasama and I have to go through that stress of a road construction, which has taken 1,000 years to finish, and yet someone can sit in a bullet train and get to work within whenever time they want.
Yeah, but would you rather sit in a train where your peace...
Why are people celebrating Rwanda? I have been to Rwanda. I went to Kigali in the year 2012.
The country around.
Kigali is run by a person who we call a dictator.
Yeah, but but don't forget.
Let me land with this.
Because you mentioned it.
No, let me just make, then you can come in. When I went to Kigali in 2012, that's how many years ago? 30, my math is not good, 13 years ago. There was free Wi-Fi in the capital. This was 13 years ago. I don't know what's happening today in Kigali. He's a dictator. He's a military man. Everybody's in no democracy. Yeah. Then you come to Ghana, because we have changed elections from Rawlings to Kufuor to Atamils to John Mahama. So Akufa say, hey, we are comparing with mediocrity if we are comparing with West Africa and Africa.
I think mediocrity.
Kigali, there's no, development going on. So maybe what you saw is just.
We drove through. Rwanda is called the country of 1,000 hills. Yeah. We drove through, and I saw so many other beautiful developments across. And I'm saying that this was 13 years ago.
Yeah, you see, Sanda, your comment around maybe celebrating mediocrity, maybe a stretch too far, maybe because
we are comparing Burkina and Guinea. No, even the Burkina leader, when he came, didn't you see he got the loudest applause?
But you see, a lot of and I don't want to go to the Burkina Faso issue because we know that. A lot of the time, what we see on social media doesn't necessarily reflect what's on the ground. CDD have done a whole study on the state of affairs in Burkina, and it's not really the case that the whole country is jubilating over his. Of course, there may be some success story, but a lot of the videos we see on social media might not necessarily be the case. But you've traveled a lot, so I'll give you that. But coming back to the Rwanda bit again, I'm just pushing back, trying to get your thoughts around the issues. I'm not even trying to be a democracy. But you see, the point is that we know the story of Rwanda. We know the genocide that took place. People have said that in the aftermath of it, Rwanda became the darling boy of the West. Everybody started coming in because they wanted to be seen as part of the next phase of Rwanda's success story. So they were donating, they were helping, they were supporting the economy, and we've seen that. But Sanda, there are also people who have said that, I've met a Rwandan, and I asked him, are you Hutu or you are Tutsi, right? Is that what they call it?
Yes, and they'll tell you no, they are none, they are Rwanda.
He didn't answer me. He just quietly left.
Because they have been told not to talk about it.
He just quietly left. So this is a nation that have been scarred. So to create the picture that everything is well, let's not forget the past, right? And I'm saying that we've been lucky because our democracy have meant that even if there have been instances of some retribution or pain, it has not been on that scale. So yes, we want the road fixed. We want our cars, our transport system in a better condition. We want an improved education quality, which, by the way, Nigerians are yearning for anyway. But let's also appreciate the fact that we've seen some level of development, and we have the peace of mind, which, in my opinion, is the precursor for everything.
That precursor has been there since 92.
It's been there for 30 years.
That's since 92. I'm saying to you that I am not anti-democracy. I am happy with that democracy. Hooray! But so then what next?
So we'll build on it.
We are not building. That's the thing.
So we'll build on it.
And I'm saying we are not building.
24-hour economy is coming.
Charlie, you see, so that's what I'm saying that, and that's what I'm saying that if Mahama fails,
then that will be the end of it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the whole democracy thing will be questioned.
Yeah.
And I worry for the country because of what we saw at Mahama's inauguration.
But I feel
where the guy who got the loudest applause
was a dictator.
Was a soldier
who came through the barrel of the gun.
Who had a sidearm on him.
Yeah. But I still think it's not necessarily a good example because of other things.
I'm not the people club though. The people club.
Yeah, you know.
And there are young people who came.
Yeah, I get your point very well. I mean, the kind of acclaim he seems to have is quite telling on the democracy being practiced.
You know why? Because people are tired of the whole system we are running.
Yeah, but there are people who are also very frustrated.
Do you know we have Ayalolo buses that we park at Adenta? They are just sitting there doing nothing.
Destroyed?
Well, they've been there for 100 years.
Look, 100 years.
Forgive me my use of that, but I'm saying that I went to cover Chenche. About you saying, what's his name?
Member of Parliament for
Ablekuma South. Yeah. When he was Accra Mayor, Atamils was president. Graphic Road, the overhead you see there, they cut the sword for that thing to happen. They called it BRT, Bus Rapid Transit. And they said that you will sit in Kaswa in a bus, speed lane, to Accra in the morning. I'm like, yay. Because I have gone to Stockholm in Sweden, and when you sit in the train, you arrive. So I was happy.
Yeah.
Then they said, we are going to do that.
Yeah.
As we speak.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake and sit in Ayalolo, it's a beautiful bus. You have charger and everything.
Yeah.
But you day in traffic. It's better to sit in church or who will use corner and bring you to Accra.
I like where this conversation is going. And viewers, we are just